Yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Can you imagine? It's another Wednesday night when we come right into your home, right into the comfort of your sitting room or your bedroom or your kitchen or in your phone, in your car, in your computer, wherever you are. And we come to you with the love of God. We come to you through open talk. And you see, with open talk, it is open. You talk or I talk, or we hear one another and we move on. And the aim of open talk is to bring information, maybe to bring correction, maybe reprove, maybe rebuke, maybe a challenge, to challenge you, to stir you up, to comfort you, to hit you a little bit, to tell you are too comfortable, stand up, right, keep going, and to tell you where you are, you have not been concreted. You are not concreted there. You can rise up and move ahead. And it has been our tradition to bring in guests who will talk to us and we listen, and lives have been changed. And again, tonight is no exception. We have brought to you a very, very special guest who you will remember all the days of your life if you will do what he tells you to do, or if you will act on the information that we give you tonight. Therefore, open up your heart, open up your spirit, open up your head, your mind. Open up your mind so that you can receive something. Why don't you just purpose, today I'm getting something out of this open talk. I must get something that will lift you up and you hit the road. So, our special guest this morning is a man I know many of you know. Many of you have met. Many of you have listened to him. But today, you are here listening to him from the One Accord television, and he will transform your life by the word that comes out of his mouth. This is none other than my brother Waithaka Gatumia. Waithaka. I don't need to tell you, he is the CEO of Centonomy. You will get to know what Centonomy is, just as you know other nomies or ologies. You will get to know. So let us welcome our guest. Welcome so much to One Accord Television, and welcome to Open Show. This is an open place. Yeah. An open place where you talk, I talk. I normally say you talk or I talk. No problem. Because many years ago, as a teacher in the staff room, we had a headmaster, and he was old schooled. And there were some two teachers who would sit at the back. While the staff meeting is going on, they would be talking. And he would get annoyed and say, "Hey, Mogore, Maura, you talk or I talk, or who here who?" So here we talk and you talk and we hear one another. Very good, no problem. So welcome so much. Why don't you bring greetings to the viewers? Thank you. First of all, I don't stop. I was in church. I was feeling like you're about to start the message. I was feeling now we're ready to get into it, but a real pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me here. Yes, hi viewers, how are you doing? To anyone who is in my family, my friends, my relatives, it's good to see you, and also to those who I've never met before. In the love of Christ, I am so grateful to be here. Anywhere where there's a group of believers, I want to be there and to share what I know and to learn also from you, to learn what we're saying. So as you said, toko au toko as well. I'm there, I'm ready. Thank you so very much. You know, I just learned that you are Presbyterian. I am. And did you know I have Presbyterian roots? Like most Kikuyus in this country, because the Scottish mission was to us, the Kikuyu people. So if you don't have a relative who's Presbyterian, we don't know where. You are out of order. You say you are out of order. Yes. I grew up in the Presbyterian church in Elbagon. Wow. I don't know whether you know anything about Elbagon, or if there's any place called Elbagon. I have heard the name, I've never been there. It has two names, one in English, one in Kikuyu. Elbagon is in English and Swahili. And in Kikuyu is Warufaga.
Okay.
So if you hear Waithaka,
Yes.
it means it's just Elbagon. It's the same
place.
It's the same place. That's why I grew up in the Presbyterian church.
Wow.
And so I'm glad that I have Presbyterian roots.
Yes.
And but this is not church.
Okay.
Okay. This is not church.
No problem.
This is business. This is pure business.
No problem.
But you know, again, as a pastor, you cannot separate. It's very difficult to separate.
It is.
Because every Sunday we receive an offering.
That's right.
Every Sunday we receive an offering.
That's
now,
right.
I just said your name.
Good.
And that you are a CEO.
Yes.
But we would like to know you a little bit more.
No
Tell us about Waithaka.
No problem. So, yes, I am a believer in Jesus Christ. He is my Lord and Savior. He saved me many years ago as a young man. I was 10 years old when I heard the gospel, and I was convicted, and I gave my life to Christ. And I'm so grateful that throughout my life, all the work that I've ever done has been in line with that, whether it's serving in the church, the jobs that I got. I used to work even in family media for a period of time, in my business that I started as well, and now even in Centonomy. I went there, I thought I'm going into the world, and I'm going there to minister, and I found our founder. Our founder is called Waithaka Gatumia. And she met us, and during one of our staff meetings, she said, I want this to be a company that God will boast about. That he will tell people, look at this company and use us as an example. And you know, when you hear your boss saying that, we have never had a discussion about faith, we have never had a discussion about anything like that, but she said that in a staff meeting, and it changed my life. And I said, you know what, I'm in the right place. This is a place where we can help people. So Centonomy, the word Centonomy comes from two words, cent, which is money, and autonomy, which means independence. So we're talking about financial independence. We want people to be financially independent, and we do that through education. So as Centonomy, we educate personal financial management. How do you manage the money you have? We educate you on entrepreneurship. That business that you've started, how can you make it into a great business? We educate you on career development, because not everybody is going to be an entrepreneur. Some of you are going to be employed. Can you create wealth as an employee? Yes. How do you do that? And then we educate young people. So we have programs for youth, and we have programs for teenagers, because we know if you can learn these principles as early as possible, it will change the trajectory of your life. So that's what we do. We educate on financial freedom. That's what we do as Centonomy. Yes.
You're going to tell us more about Centonomy.
No problem.
Tell us.
Yes.
Are you married?
I am married.
You know, we have so many girls there who are not married, and they are praying day and night. Oh, okay.
I came with evidence. I came with it. Everywhere I go, somebody has to know. I am taken already. I have a beautiful wife, Sheila Wangoi. We've been friends. We have been now married almost 9 years. It'll be 9 years this year, but we've been friends over 20 years. Can you imagine? We grew up in the same youth group, and we used to sing together for many years before we got married. So we have a long history with one another. We have 3 beautiful daughters. If they're out there, I'm going to say hi to them. I have 2 Modhonis and 1 Waithera.
Oh, you have 2 Modhonis?
I have 2 Modhonis, yes.
So you have Modhoni A and Modhoni B.
Modhoni A, Malia, and Modhoni B, Eden.
Oh, that's quite a blessing.
Yes.
And very rare.
Very rare, yes.
It is very rare.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, and I serve at my church as well in the worship team. I've always loved to sing. And so even as I've grown into different areas of ministry, even as an elder in the church, when God has given you a gift, you don't pack it somewhere else as you do other things. I think it's to be faithful with all the gifts that he has given you and see how to use them in that way.
You know, that's why Paul tells Timothy to stir up the gift which is in him.
That's right.
That means in every one of us, there's a gifting. And the problem is our system, I don't know from your perspective, but from my own little perspective, little learning, is as if our systems are designed to put blankets on our gifts so that our gifts can sleep.
In fact, here in Africa, it's the worst. Because our education system was actually designed to produce excellent employees.
Excellent employees.
We want people who can be able to work in our businesses. We want people who can work in our factories, but not people who are going to go start their own factories or to understand how the factory works. But when you're there, look, I mean, Kenyans are sought after employees around the world.
Yeah.
If you go to any country, you'll find a Kenyan employee. Why? Because our education system produced a very, very good employee. You listen to instructions, you follow them, and you're diligent, which is a good thing. Those are good things. But when it comes to financial freedom, you have to be able to think beyond that point. You have to be able to think and to see, how am I building myself and not just my employer's company? And many people are busy building everybody else's business except themselves. And when we talk about financial freedom, that's where we have to come on board. Not from a selfish perspective, but from a position that you have a responsibility to grow yourself and your family as well. So you're right. That education system is like a blanket. I like that you use that analogy of a blanket. It kind of covers you so that you don't see, where is there an opportunity on this side? Where is there an opportunity on this side? When I'm earning, I'm working for this company. Am I taking the money that I'm earning and investing it elsewhere? Am I being a faithful steward of what I receive? Because many times we are faithful with what our current boss has given us. But we know who is our source. It is God who's our source. And he provides for us even through our jobs. But once he has given you that cash through your job, where does it go? Are you investing it? Are you taking the time to grow from where you are? And what we do as a company, as I said at Centonomy, is to open people's eyes to see the wealth that you're looking for is in your hands. What are you doing? It's that question of, what do you have in your hand? Isn't that a question God asked a servant?
Yes, Moses. Moses was complaining, now what am I going to do?
What do you have in your hand? And for many of us, we have money, we have talents, we have gifts, we have time. One resource that we waste a lot of is time. Like today, you know, you're looking on, if somebody is looking towards the weekend, this weekend that's coming up, what are you going to be doing? Many people, they work the whole week. Then on Saturday, they are sleeping. The day we were given for rest is Sunday. Saturday, wake up, drive to that farm that you have. Have you gone and looked at it? Well, if there's no lockdown at that point.
Yeah.
Have you spent some time to go and look at that investment that you have made? All these resources are in our hands. The question is, what are you doing with them?
Okay. Now, you're talking about financial freedom.
Correct.
Where there is freedom,
Yes.
there is bondage.
Yes.
So there must be financial bondage. Is this what we are calling employment? Or how can we describe financial bondage?
Financial bondage, it has nothing to do with employment or business ownership. The bondage is up here. In your mind is where the bondage is. I am an employee. I am employed at Centonomy. But by the grace of God, I'm creating wealth. Centonomy is not, I am working. By the grace of God, I'm being as diligent as I can be. But when I receive my paycheck, that is mine to go and be and grow. That is mine to go and build something for my family. So where the bondage is up here. Even those, let me tell you, even those people who run businesses, their mind can be closed to the opportunities that are. It has nothing to do whether you're running a business or whether you're employed. The issue is, do you have a plan or a strategy for your personal growth? That's where the difference is. Because watch this. In our classes, one of the first things that you are required to do is to know where your money goes. Most people don't know where their money goes. Ask them. They'll tell you, okay, I pay rent, so they know. But who told them about the rent? It was the landlord. They pay back their loans, but who told them about the loans? It was the bank. They pay the church. Who told them about the church? It was the bishop. Everything is by someone else who has told them. Then you ask them, so the rest of the cash that was left, where did it go? I don't know. Can I give my personal example?
Sure.
So, I did this for the first time after we got married. That's almost 9 years ago. I had never in my life got a record of everywhere my money goes. And we did this with my wife for 1 month. We were shocked. Can you imagine, Bishop? We were spending more on takeout food than our rent.
Oh.
But we had never seen it. Bishop, we were paying that time 28,000 shillings rent. Okay? This is now what we did for 1 month. We tracked our expenses. Any money that went out, we wrote it down. Can you imagine? So we added up. Lunchtime at the office, because both of us were working that time, we'd spend about 200 bob on lunch. That's not an expensive lunch. We have not gone to the Javas or any. That's the one that is, brought to the office that is there. So we're looking at 200 to 250 shillings. If you buy a soda now with your lunch. So the two of us, because we didn't have children then, that's 500 shillings in 1 day.
Oh.
Because she spent 200, I spent 250. 500. Monday to Friday, how much is that? 500 times 5, 2,500. Then on Saturday, now, because we are just newly married, that's the time now you take her to a nice hotel somewhere, a Java you buy, and we would spend easily, you'd spend like 3,000 on Saturday. Sunday after church, now you talk to your family and your friends, you say, where are we going? And you drive to some place and you spend another 3,000. That's 8,500 times 4.
Oh.
34,000 shillings. We were spending 34,000 shillings on takeout food. Our rent was 28. And by the way, Bishop, we were still going to the supermarket to buy and cook food in our house. In fact, we would even leave food in the fridge, it goes bad.
Wow.
Bishop, I've just told you one item,
just
food on our. If now I start telling you about mobile phone charges, if I started telling you about, every fundraiser that comes up, we didn't know where our money was going. And when the Bible talks about being a good steward, a good steward or a good manager knows where every cent goes. Come on. Everyone who is employed, one of the longest meetings you're going to have is a meeting called a budget meeting. Why? Because you are expected to have a result of every cent, every shilling. If you're an employee, are you ever allowed to come and give a report, we spent around 200,000 shillings? If you gave such a report, Bishop, would you be an employee for any?
You lose your job.
So I ask you, viewer, where you are at home, do you know where your own money went? You take care of your employer's money more than you do the one that God has given you.
Wow.
And this shocked me because a first principle of good stewardship is to simply know where everything is. Because when you know where your money is going, then you can make decisions. Bishop, we still go out and eat today with my family. We still do. We still eat out. But we know which money is going there. 8 years ago, we had no idea. We were just living. You work hard Monday to Friday, and then you just spend everything that's coming in, and you didn't know. Most people have never even looked at their bank statements to see all the charges the bank has taken out. If you looked at it, you will stop doing those small ATM withdrawals, 1,000 here, 1,000 here, 1,000. Go. When you look at it, withdraw once, get charged once. Because now you're going to use that money anyway. Why are you doing 1,000, 1,000 here?
A lot of people don't know that as you are withdrawing,
Yes.
you are spending your own money.
You are.
You are being charged your own money. And then we wait for the end of the year and we complain that this bank has made billions in profit. And that money we just gave them willingly.
We did. We gave it willingly. Not only that, now everybody's on mobile money. I can be seated in this room. I owe you 1,000 bob. Instead of going to my wallet, removing 1,000 and giving to you, I take out my phone, punch in a few numbers, and be charged by the mobile phone company 20 shillings, 100 shillings to send you that 1,000 bob.
Oh, man. I think you're talking to me.
I'm telling you. I challenge you, Bishop, yourself. Go to your phone. For the last 1 month, look at your charges on your mobile money. The charges for sending, receiving, paying, just add it up, because it doesn't come on the statement. It's in your messages.
Oh, okay.
The statement doesn't show the charges. Go to your messages, add them up. I have a feeling you could probably buy a new TV or a new iPhone,
maybe a plot,
a new plot.
Yeah, I come from the land of the people who love land. So
from those messages, you can probably do that. But people don't check. So we just spend without knowledge. Now, am I saying that using M-Pesa or Airtel money or these things are bad, or your bank? No. I'm saying they are very good. In fact, M-Pesa is one of the best products in the world because it has made mobile transfers much easier. It has made money management easier. But even good things you can misuse.
Yeah.
And I think for many of us, we are misusing it because we don't know how much it costs. I challenge you, Bishop, and your team here, all these people, just go to your phone, add it up. You will not do the same thing again. Because the thousands of shillings, there is a reason, as you said, these banks, these big companies are posting billions in profit. It's because we use these products without.
You know, me I'm a doer.
Yes.
Me I'm a doer. And I take your challenge. And because I'm not alone, I have the whole of this team, and I have you as part of my audience. Now I am making a demand. By 16th of June, every one of you will give me a report and tell me what percentage of your income have you used in those payments.
Yes.
Those payments.
Yes.
And my wife will do the same.
Yes.
My wife will do the same. Then maybe we can get you back, and then you can mark the exam. You mark the exam.
You will mark for yourselves. Because now you'll say, oh, this is how much. What is a better way to do it? So you know there are some transfers you can't change. You know, if I want to send money to my parents, I want to send to a relative up country, it's the best system to use. But if I'm paying for a subscription, a TV subscription, if I'm paying for fuel, if I'm paying for these other things, there are better options that are out there that will save me money. And now you'll be able to make those choices.
Wow. You know, I've never looked at it from that perspective.
Yeah.
You know, there is the I don't know whether to call it the pride or the feeling.
Yes.
I'm not handling any money. I just press a button and then we say, you go, and you feel good, you have not handled money. And I think there is also a danger there, especially when we come to the card.
Yes.
You're just giving the card. You never see money going.
You don't.
By the time you realize, all the money is gone.
Bishop, can I show you another one? Because people, you know, they're listening to us, and they're saying this is a problem of the rich who have a lot of money that they're just spending. Can I show you my house help? Yes? We pay her a good wage, but it's not a big amount.
Yeah.
We try and pay more than minimum wage here in Nairobi. And in case you didn't know, for a house help in Nairobi, minimum wage is 13,571 shillings.
Oh, I am above.
If you're paying less than that, praise the Lord. If you're paying less than that, you are breaking the law. So make sure you're paying your house help the correct amount. Well done, well done.
Yeah.
So you'd think at that level, they don't have cash to just, spend. We call her, sometimes when she's coming, or we call her about something we want her to buy on the way or something like that. Every time we call her, you hear a different ringtone on her phone. It's this song. Oh, it's another song. Oh, it's another song. We added them up. She had over 5 ringtones on her phone. Each one of them is about 2 shillings each, every day.
Oh.
So she is spending 10 shillings every day on a ringtone for us to enjoy when we call her.
Oh, man.
That means in 1 week, she could have bought her family a loaf of bread.
Yeah. Why?
In 2 weeks, that's a packet of unga. In 1 year, I don't even want to tell you how much money that is. And the reason is, Bishop, we don't know where our money is going. We have just gotten used to spending, and there's no accountability. And then at the end of the month, we come and say, oh, there's no money to invest.
And they say there's no money to pay the tithe.
There's no money to pay tithe.
You know, from church, we talk from the tithe perspective. I don't have the money for the tithe. So, Pastor, uniombe, all my money is gone. This is how it is gone. I cannot even bring the tithe.
That's the problem. Because we don't know where our money goes. And by simply knowing, then you can make a choice. Can I give them a principle? Principle number 1.
Principle number 1.
Pay yourself first.
Please, write that down. I'm pausing. Write that down. Principle number 1.
Yes.
Pay yourself first. In fact, Jesus said,
yes,
you shall love your neighbor,
yes,
as you love yourself. In other words, you are a first.
Yes.
Then the neighbor comes.
Yeah.
So please write that. That is principle number 1. And there will be an exam for that. There will be an exam for that. Here on open talk. So I like the idea of pay yourself first.
Can I explain it?
Yes,
because
explain.
people now will have different things. I can see everyone here is getting excited. No. It's not now on Friday how you go and what do people say? Kuambia mwili pole. Yes, they say on Friday that's now you pay yourself that way. No. Paying yourself first is doing this. You take some money, you save it first. You take another amount and you invest it first. Because this is what we do. This is how people do their money. They receive it, especially Christians like us. So let's say this is 100% of our cash. Okay? 10 fingers, each is 10%. So before I even receive my money, see, I've been paid, so I have to pay tax. So 10, 20, 30% is the government has already taken. Yeah. Then Bishop comes and preaches that message, we must give our tithe, not just tithe, but tithe and offering. So 50% has already gone. That was not ours. We have given it to the right people. Yeah. To God and to Caesar, we have paid. Good. So we have 50% left. So we pay the landlord 20. We pay school fees, and then the rest we kind of just spend whatever is left. Do you see there's nothing left? We have barely paid anything. So what we are suggesting is, so you pay unto Caesar your 30%. If you're in business or you're an employee, most people are about 30%. Immediately after, pay your tithe and offering. And it's not just tithe. In church, I believe, it is not just tithe is the minimum.
Tithe is the base.
Tithe and offering. After that, you save and you invest first. Because if you pay the landlord, you pay the bank, you pay the bursar at the school, you pay the supermarket, if you pay everybody else first, where is the money?
You have nothing for yourself.
You have nothing.
You are a slave.
You are worse than a slave. Because a slave, at least they are being fed by their master. Who is feeding you?
Wow. Man, today or tonight is your night of liberation. If you will not get delivered tonight, I don't want to complete the sentence. But first of all, pay yourself first. I think that is so crucial.
And then people are going to ask Bishop, but where is the money to pay myself? Principle number?
Principle number 2.
Number 2. Track your expenses. We've already talked about it, but I want people to write it down again.
Again, the teacher in me rises up, and I'm saying, principle number 2, write it down.
Yes.
Track where your money is going.
Yes.
Principle number 2. There will be an exam, so please write these things down. Principle number 2.
Because when you know where the money is going, then you can make choices. For us, it was to look and say, we are paying the restaurants more than we are paying our landlord. Here's the worst thing, more than we were paying ourselves. We were not saving or investing 34,000 shillings per month. It was less.
Wow.
So, when you track your expenses, you will see where the money goes. Then now you can make a choice and begin to say, you know what? This is my priority. Parents, you want your children to go to university. Some of that cash that we were paying the restaurants is now going to our education fund for our children. You're young man, young lady, you've been trying to think about building a house. Some of that cash that we were paying the restaurants is now buying our first house where we have a tenant now. That money. By making choices, and some of it we are still paying the restaurant when we go out on the weekend to enjoy with our family. The issue is now we have control. The problem before you track your expenses is there's no control, there's no order. When you bring order to your life, you will be finding freedom. People think that order is brought to bring chaos. It is or to give you bondage. No. Think about it. On the roads, we have rules to keep order and freedom. When people don't follow the rules of the road, isn't that when we have a jam that nobody can ever move? Because everybody is coming from one side, everybody is coming from the other side, and you all clash at the same place. There's no freedom. But when everybody stays on their side of the road, they wait their turn, there's freedom, there is flow. So order actually brings freedom. Because now you have freedom to choose where you want to go. So principle number one, so that you always keep it in mind, is pay yourself first. When I receive my cash, I must save some of it. I must invest some of it. And it doesn't matter the amount. I told you, even 10 shillings saved over a week adds up. That 100 shillings saved or invested over years adds up. Our founder, Washeke, she had a similar experience that I did, where she began to realize she was frustrated. She was saying, I never get to take my family on holiday. She loves to travel. When she did the calculation, she said, that same money I'm spending on lunch, for her it was at 300 shillings. She realized 300 shillings every day, by the end of the year, is over 100,000 shillings.
Wow.
So she said, if I carry the leftovers from my house, which we ate last night, and come on, we're Africans, we don't cook one potato per person. There's usually some leftovers. She was able to save and take her family on holiday that they had never done before.
You know, when we were growing up, we used the ugali we ate in the evening. We would take it for breakfast with turungi. And we'd still go and be like anybody else who took blue band and bread.
And you were even more healthy.
Exactly.
Now we are struggling to lose weight because we are overeating.
Oh, man.
We're overeating, and then we're worried, how am I going to survive? Cut it out.
So, you are saying it is very dignified for me to put a chicken drumstick in a bakuri and cover it, put it in a juara, and carry it to my office, lock myself there and eat during the lunch hour.
You have a flask here, I can see it there, Bishop.
This one I don't leave behind.
It should come with tea from home.
This one has MKC. MKC is Mark Kariuki concoction.
Good.
This is an immune booster. And you need to go to my YouTube and you will Google Bishop Mark Kariuki and you will see how to make MKC.
Good.
Now MKC rebranded, you add turmeric. Wow. This is garlic, ginger, lemon, and honey. Wow. Now you add turmeric, super. Let me sip some.
But I'm wondering, I'm only seeing one flask here. Your whole team, where second one? Good. Are they enough?
Everyone has something.
Good.
Those who are obedient.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
It does not mean that one day you feel like, hey, today I'd like some fried chicken or something, go and have it. But if you do it every day without knowledge, that's where the difference is. So principle number 2 was track your expenses. Be a good steward. Because if you know where your money is going, then you're making choices. Because let me tell you something I've discovered, Bishop. Everybody has a plan for your money.
Everybody.
Yes. Even me, Bishop, I'm not here for nothing. I have a plan for your money where you are.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you about Centonomy, so you can come and spend your money at Centonomy to learn about money. I have a plan.
And you can be sure these guys will be coming.
I pray.
You have a lot of students here.
I pray so. Because your relatives have a plan for your money. The bank has a plan for your money. The SACCO has a plan for your money. Everybody has a plan. What is yours? When you know your plan, then you decide who is in line with my plan. And that's where you spend your cash.
Wow.
If you don't know who is in line, then everybody will spend your cash for you.
Oh, that's why everybody will come, or many people will come and borrow money and say, lend me some money.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you have anything about that borrowing. When people come and borrow money from you, or this idea, nitakurudishia, give me this, I'll bring back.
Yes. And it is a biblical principle. Give. Our God is a giver. For God so loved the world that he did what?
He gave.
He gave. Give and it will be given to you. So it's biblical to give. But you don't give everything.
Don't give everything. So you've got to be careful. Even when you go to church or when you listen to a preacher who is telling you, empty all your pockets, empty your handbag, and pour it upon this altar.
Because tomorrow, see, they'll come back to you and tell you the same thing. We must become, when I say a good steward realizes there'll be somebody in need every month. So the best way to do it is to budget for giving. You know, your parents might be calling you and asking you for some cash. You know there'll be at least 1 or 2 weddings in a month. We live in a life where we know there'll be death. There'll be 1 or 2 funerals and maybe a fundraiser. So if you know those are the items that are there, in your budget, say, I am earning whatever amount, let's say I'm earning 50,000. So my giving budget is 5,000. So when the first wedding comes, don't give 5,000, give 1. Yeah. Because then you have 4,000 left in that budget for the next wedding that comes, you give 1,000. For the funeral, 1,000 to send to your parents, and 1,000 for that when the random giving that comes along the way. Yeah. And it should not be random. It should be 1,000 shillings. When you're driving every time you see that young person who needs and begs on the street, we should be givers. Give them. But once you've reached 5,000, the next person who comes, you say,
my budget is over.
Finished.
I think that also calls for a lot of discipline.
It does.
Again, depending on one's pocket.
Correct.
Because at times it's difficult. I used to find it very difficult when somebody came and told me, I have not paid my house rent. You know, I'm a pastor. And having pastored in Nakuru for many years, you will get so many needs. And this one will come, and this will come, and this will come. And if I had money in my pocket, they knew. Yeah. They knew they would leave my office with something. Yes. So I would give. Even if it was my wife's money that was supposed to be for something, I would end up giving. And I tell somebody came and they were in need, and I gave them. Yeah. Until I looked at it and we talked with our pastors. I had a pastor called Moses and Paul, and they told me, no, when people come, you send them to us. Yes. We have got to put things in order. Yes. Because you see, when the pastoral heart in me comes up, and there is 100 shillings in my pocket, and you are asking for 50, and I know I have 100, I cannot lie to you and tell you I don't have. Yeah. But in the giving, I end up being in trouble. So they rescued me and
That's
they told
right.
me, no, you send them. You said they will come to us,
Yep.
but they will not come to you.
That's
and
right.
and that helped me
Wow.
to a lot of extent.
Wow.
Because again, someone also helped me and told me, when someone comes borrowing, you've always got to know in your mind, you are not a bank.
No.
You don't have the system of getting back your cash. The bank has a system. They will or come and take your things or send auctioneers.
Yes.
But you never send an auctioneer
No.
to a friend's house who has borrowed you money and they have not given you. So I'm getting what you are saying.
Yes.
That discipline
Yes.
is very, very crucial.
Because tomorrow there'll be another need. And here's a good way. If you don't have the money in your pocket, you can't give it. So the money you keep in your pocket, be ready to give.
Okay.
In my car down here, any coin that I get in the house, any small coin, I put it in there. Because I know when I'm driving, when that person comes to the window to beg, I don't want to start looking in. There is a place I just open, take a coin, and you give that person. That way, when that is finished, it is finished. Can I tell a short story?
Yes, please do.
So I have my cousin. He's living up country, and he got a good opportunity to come for a job here in Nairobi, but he didn't have the cash. So he called me. I said, Waithaka, I have an opportunity for a job. Can you send me something to come to Nairobi? I said, wow, praise the Lord, you have a chance. I sent him cash. So he arrived. He told me, I'm in Nairobi. I'm going to do the interview tomorrow. Let's see how things go. For 2 days, I didn't hear back from him. After 2 days, he calls me. Then he said, Waithaka, you see, they weren't quite ready for us, but they're saying if we give them another 2 days, I'll be able to get there. But now I don't have cash to survive 2 days in Nairobi. Can you send me something? I sent. I said, this guy is trying. After 2 days, I call and ask, so how is things going? Oh, you know, there's a problem here or there. I don't know whether it's going to work out. Can you now send me some cash so I can go back home? I said, no. Imagine he went home.
Oh.
I don't know how he went, but he went.
He went.
You can't take all responsibility on yourself. Where you can help,
You help.
help. Because you are not, this is, and you know this as a minister of the gospel, there is only one Savior.
Yeah, there's only one.
He's not Waithaka.
Yeah.
He's not Bishop.
No.
There's only one Savior. You cannot save the world. The problems in this world, you cannot solve them. So the ones that you can solve, solve. The rest, leave them to the Savior.
Wow. Wow. Now, how do we create wealth?
Principle number 3.
Principle number 3. Please write this down. Principle number 3.
Focus on assets.
Assets. Focus on assets. Principle number 3. Write it down.
Focus on assets. Now we have to define what an asset is.
Exactly.
So assets, they are investments that grow in value. So when you buy it, after a couple of years, it will grow. Assets are investments that when you put your money into them, they can put some money in your pocket. Assets are investments that even if they're not growing, at least they can secure your cash, your money. Let me give some examples. A savings account is a good asset. Why? Because the money you put there, when you come tomorrow, you come next year, at least you'll find it there. So it is safe. A good asset is like a rental property, for instance. Because the money is there, and every month if you have a tenant, that tenant is putting money in your pocket. That's number 2. Number 3 is like that plot that you bought. Because when you bought it, it was worth 50,000. After 10 years, it is now worth 200,000. What has it done? It has grown in value. Now, there are other investments that don't do those things. Can I give an example?
Please do.
Your car, your personal car. When you buy it, the moment you sign on the dotted line, you have not even driven it. You have paid, you signed. They give you the key. Immediately, it has lost value. You paid 1 million. The moment you sign, it is now Waithaka's. It has lost value. It is now no longer worth 1 million shillings. Yes.
I have a car on sale. Please, if you need a car, you call me. I have a car on sale, a good car, a comfortable car. It's doing nothing at home.
No, Bishop, don't sell it. If it's doing nothing at home, sell it. Yes, please. If it is doing nothing at home, please, because it is losing value. Not only is it losing value, it's a depreciating asset. That's what losing value. You have to pay insurance, so that is money out of your pocket. You have to pay for fuel, that is money out of your pocket. You have to pay for servicing, that is money out of your pocket. You have to pay for car wash, that is money going where? Out of your pocket. You have to pay for parking here in town, that is money going. This thing is eating your money.
Wololo ya ye, mayo.
But Bishop, let me not be misquoted. A car is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's just not an asset.
It's not an asset.
But it is a good thing. Because the car gets you from home to here in comfort, quickly. It can help you to do various things, very good. But no, it is losing you money. So those things that you're going to do, I pray that they are earning you cash. So I'm not saying don't buy a car. I'm saying when you buy a car, know what it is doing for you. So that you're not going to be putting 2 million or 1 million shillings into a car and you don't have an asset worth 1 million shillings. That does not make sense.
It doesn't.
Because you have put 1 million shillings where you're losing it instead of putting 1 million shillings where it is growing and getting back to you. So focus on assets. Can I break one more myth?
Please.
This one now is going to be difficult for you because of where.
Let me brace myself.
Because of where you come from.
Yes.
And our relationship with the land. I'm trying to find the right words for you, Bishop. Okay.
No, I'm ready for it. I'm set.
Okay.
I'm set.
Okay.
I'm holding on tight.
Your home.
My home.
That you live in. Is not an asset.
It's not an asset. What is it?
Let me explain. When I spend 10 million on a house, okay, but I live in it, it has one major financial benefit. I don't pay rent. So there's no cash going towards rent. But I have to maintain that house. So there's cash coming out.
A lot.
I have to clean that house. If it's in a certain area, I have to pay land rates to the government for that house. So in as much as that house I'm not paying rent, there is still money coming out of my pocket to live in this house. There's no money coming in.
Langa langa mwisho. Langa langa mwisho, there's a house for sale.
Don't sell the house.
Nakuru, langa langa mwisho, you need a house, 1/4 acre plot, it is there. And there's a nice house, how many bedrooms? 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. There is a miracle hall there, it is out for sale.
Bishop,
Now,
wait.
No, I'm a doer.
No, wait. You don't live in that house.
Yeah.
Do you?
No, I don't.
If you don't live in it, then it is an asset.
Oh.
If you live in it, it takes money out of your pocket. But that one that is in Nakuru, that nobody, you can rent it, and it will now begin to put money in your pocket. That's the difference.
Okay.
Now, here's the problem. So many of us have been taught, get your own home. That's, you're told, even in your own home, even if you can't buy food, at least you have a place to sleep. Yeah, for one night. But after 1 week of no food, now you look at that house and say, what am I doing here? Let me sell it. Your home is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful investment. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel comfortable. You feel like nobody can chase you from this place, but hunger can chase you. And we are seeing a large group of people coming for our training who are now retiring into their own home, but they have no cash. So I know how many of your viewers are sending money to their own parents, living in their own home. But I thought your home was security. They are in their own home, but they have no what? Money.
Then in that home, they've got to pay for electricity, they've got to pay for water, they've got to pay for the house help. Oh, man.
So here's the thing. I did not say a home is a bad thing. I just said know what it does for you. So that by God's grace, I want to live in my own home, and we are working hard with my wife to get our own home. But when we are living in that home, we need to have multiple assets that are going to be putting money in our pocket to live in that house.
Okay.
That's what we must look for. It is the assets. Because watch this. I've seen it so many times because we talk to these people. They come. Right now we also train retirees because we've realized how you manage money when you're retiring is very different from when you are employed. So you need to think slightly different. This retiree, we tell them, you worked hard, now you own a mansion, 30 million shilling mansion, but they have no cash. So I ask them, this 30 million, if you sold the house, buy a smaller place. Now it's only the two of you. Husband, the children have left, you are retired. Buy a smaller place, comfortable place, not where you are comfortable. And then some of that cash, get it into income earning assets. Those ones now will pay for you to live in your own home.
Okay.
That's a way that you can do it at that point. That's if you didn't even know and you're in that space. But now that you know, all the young people, you must always be doing those two things. You're home, but you also need assets that will pay for you to live in that home. And in fact, those assets are more important than the home. Because if I have rental properties that are paying me 200,000 shillings a month, even renting, I can rent comfortably. Because there's what? Cash. So principle number 3, focus on assets.
Principle number 3, focus on assets. Assets. And you're saying rental homes are very good assets.
They are good.
Are there other assets that we can do? That
There
we
are
can
so
consider?
many. If you're running a business, that's a good asset when it is profitable. So make sure you're running a profitable business. As a good asset. In fact, when you talk about the billionaires, the wealthiest people in this world, their wealth is not, most of it is not in real estate. It is in their businesses.
Okay.
Because businesses are continuously generating value. And if you can't build your own business, no problem. Invest in someone else's business. That's what the stock market is. The stock market is saying, I'm not starting my own business. But there's a good business out there called KCB, called Safaricom, called Equity, called, name them, all of them that are on the stock. Those are businesses. And when I buy a share, I am actually a part owner of that business. Good assets.
Okay.
I can also have other assets that people are not very familiar with, like a government bond. Government bond is a good income earning asset. In fact, it will give you better income than your rental property.
Oh, maybe you could tell us more about government bonds.
Your rental property will give you maybe about between 5 and 10%. If you're lucky, 10%. But most people on average in Nairobi and in Kenya, about 5%. 5% return per year. A government bond here will give you between 10 and 13%.
Oh.
Cash. A government bond is very simple. You lend the government some money and they promise to pay you back with interest.
Okay.
You've seen even Eurobond, that's all. It's the government needs money to build roads, to pay teachers, to do all these things. You can lend your money to the government, even as an individual. You lend them and they tell you, on this bond, we will give you 11%, 10% per year. And like clockwork, every 6 months in your account, you will see the interest that you have earned.
Wow.
Very good, especially in retirement. It's a very good income earning asset. Because in retirement, what you need is cash. Cash, because you're not working somewhere. So if something is paying you, you're doing well.
I think that's very crucial.
Yes.
Because you know I have a lot of pastors who are heading towards retirement, and many times a pastor does not want to leave the church because that is the only source of income. But if we are able to get us to seeing that way, then we can be able to say, oh, you can invest your money here, and you are guaranteed this income. That's why I wanted you to come, so you can tell us a little bit more of those investments and assets, so that we can save the lives of the peoples, and make their lives better. So maybe there is the government bond.
Yes. Real estate. Can I give you another one that everybody is a part of, but they don't know is a very good asset? SACCO.
SACCO.
We were training at Sharia SACCO, Sharia SACCO, which is for the lawyers, the judges, all those people in the legal field. One of their top savers in Sharia SACCO is a senior judge. She's a lady. She has about 30 million shillings over her lifetime.
Wow.
Working as a lawyer, as a judge. She has saved in that SACCO 30 million. Okay? And this is actually a few years ago, so it must have grown. That SACCO, when we went to train them, they were giving a yearly dividend return of about 12%.
Wow.
So if you have 30 million, that is over 3 million shillings in return every year on your savings that are there.
Wow. I think that this is so interesting and so helpful and so powerful. And I trust that our viewers, you are getting something out of this. This is not just for entertainment. This is for information and reproof and rebuke. So that your life can change. So you don't have to blame your parents. You don't have to blame your teachers. You don't have to blame other people. But you can sit there. There is always a beginning. There is always a beginning. And I am praying that this will be the beginning of transformation as far as your finances and your wealth is concerned. And as we follow on, you are going to capture this. Definitely, we may not be able to capture this in one program. We are not able to capture this in one program. So this program is continuing this coming Wednesday. We are going to pause until this coming Wednesday. Please, you stay right there. We will sit right here until next Wednesday, and we will continue from there with Mr. Waithaka. He's so knowledgeable, so profitable, so open, for free. Can you imagine? This is giving you for free. Your life will never be the same. Will never be the same again. Thank you so very much, Mr. Waithaka, for this session. Yeah. I pray that we will be able to continue in the next session, so we can be able to bring transformation and change in the lives of the people of this nation.
Bishop, if I may, because people are waiting till next week.
Yes.
As they wait, they can go to our website.
Yes, tell them.
www.centonomy.com. Go to the website. You can even look for Centonomy on Facebook, on Twitter, on Insta. We are on all of them. Look for Centonomy. We've got on YouTube. We've got lots of free videos that can help people to begin that journey of wealth creation. So go to our website and look for us on social media, even as you wait for next week's program. I know we'll build more.
Thank you so very much. Go to the website. Use that right now. Instead of just sitting there to listen to the news, why don't you go to the website right now and start benefiting from good information? Remember what Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth that you know shall make you free. God bless you. Once again, this is Bishop Mark, your pastor and your friend for a long time, coming to you through Open Talk. You talk or I talk. We hear one another. God bless you. Have a super night. And may your life be transformed by this word that you have received. God bless you.